So we are talking about polygons on the coordinate plane, and you need to check your notes and make sure that they are correct. Number 1 says, on a map, the museum is situated at -5, 3. The nursing college is located at 3, -5. And the community hall is positioned at 3, 3. Represent the locations as points on a coordinate grid with a unit of 1 mile. So the first one is at -5, 3. And that is the museum. The second point is 3, -5. And that is the nursing college. And the third point is at 3, 3. And that is the community hall. So it asks us in part A, what is the distance from the museum to the community hall? So in part A, I am looking at what I have the same in the museum and the community hall and what is different. So I have -5, 3, and 3, 3. So these are the same. Here's my differences. So I need to find the total of 5 plus 3, so our absolute values. So that means they are 8 miles apart. The second question says, what is the distance from the community hall to the nursing college? So I'm going to do the same thing. Nursing college is at 3, -5, and the community hall is at 3, 3. These are the same, so here's my difference. Absolute value of 5 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8 miles. So that answers both questions in A. Part B says what shape connects the 3 locations. So I'm going to do my best to connect my dots. And I should identify that I have 3 coordinates or 3 points, so that means it must be a triangle. The city council is planning to place a hospital in this area. How large is the area planned? Well, I know it's a triangle. I know that my base and my height, I figured those out in A because here's my right angle. So my formula is area equals base times height divided by 2. Area equals 8 times 8 divided by 2. So that equals 64 divided by 2. So the area is 32 miles squared. So let's move on to question 2. If the points on the coordinate plane below are the 3 vertices of a rectangle. First question says, what are the coordinates of the 4th vertex? So I know that it has to be even with my current vertices, so that means that it would have to be at 3, and it would have to be down to -2. How do you know? Well, we graphed it using our other points. What are the length and width of the rectangle? Well, I'm looking at my difference between my 2 different ones, so that's a 5 and a 3. So that means that the length would be 8. My width, I have 2 and -2, so 2 plus 2 would give me 4 for my width. The third question says find the area and the perimeter of the rectangle. So for area, this is a rectangle, so it's length times width. Area equals 8 times 4. So the area would be 32. They didn't tell us anything, so we're just going to use units squared. Okay, let's do the perimeter next. So perimeter, and we want to add all the sides. So we know we have 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4. So that gives me 16 plus 8, and my perimeter equals 24 units. Remember, perimeter is not squared because it's just the distance around the outside. Okay, let's move on to question 3. On a map, the central school is situated at -1, 1. The Legislative Assembly is located at 4, -1. The Central Park is positioned at 4, 1. Represent the locations as points on a coordinate grid with a unit of 1 mile. So the Central School is -1, 1. Legislative Assembly is 4, -1. Central Park is at 4, 1. So what is the distance from Central School to Central Park? Central School is -1, 1. Central Park is 4, 1. So those are the same. So my absolute value of -1 is 1, and 1 plus 4 is 5. It also asks what is the distance from the Central Park to the Legislative Assembly. So Central Park is 4, 1. The Legislative Assembly is 4, -1. So those are the same. These are my different ones, 1 and -1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Said, how do you know? Well, we looked at our coordinates and we figured out the difference, or the total amount of units they are from one another. B says, what shape connects all the locations? We should know again, this one has 3 points, so that means it is going to be a triangle. And then it says the City Council is planning to place a community hall in this area. How large is the area for the hall? So I'm finding area, and it's a triangle. So my formula is base times height divided by 2. My base would be 5. My height is 2 because there's my right angle. 5 times 2 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5 miles squared. Alright, so check over your paper. Make sure that you have it all completed and all correct.